Hello, Miss Krista Barone.
Hi, how you doing?
I am good. How are you?
I'm doing pretty good, and I feel like I want to say the same thing that we started shockingly delightful with yesterday, which is I know you all are on the edge of your seat because we're in Florida. We're okay. We're South Florida. We're well away from the cat too. We're just getting a couple of little troppy storm winds coming through, but that's the same as a cold front for us. So no harm, no foul.
And yet, if you do notice that we, disappear from the feed, then we might have gotten a band that came through and,
Yeah.
heaven knows what happens. But
Yeah.
anyway, so I am Michelle with Moksha Grace Coaching, and welcome to Moment of Presence. We are going to do everything we can to bring ourselves into the moment, especially those of you that are watching from anywhere in basically Florida,
Georgia.
the southern states, Mexico, which is getting slammed by what's now being called a zombie storm. Never heard of that, but hey, shout out to Tarina, Mao, and Diego. We love you, and please be safe because they are
Okay, don't
right in
hold
the
it
middle of
together, woman.
the
I can see you
anyway,
tearing up from here.
which is crazy because they never. Well, anyway, um, we didn't even know in the U.S. that there was a hurricane out there named John.
I think it maybe is a West Coast thing since we're the East Coast. It's two separate kind of like
But
seasons,
still,
so to speak.
anywho,
Anyway,
welcome to Moment of Presence. Today we have a really interesting topic, and I'll let Krista introduce it.
I'm gonna introduce myself first. Hi everybody. Obviously, we're already off the rails today, so God bless
Oh
all of us.
boy.
My name is Christopher Roan. I am the owner, founder, sole operator of Wicked Wisdom Consulting. I am a fractional COO and ops consultant, helping business owners run their business and get back to doing the things that they actually enjoy out of their business. And I take care of the rest. That sounds like something that you might need or you want to have a little chit chat. You can find me at wickedwisdomconsulting.com, also on Facebook and LinkedIn, which is a chance that you're watching it from here. So just go where you are and you'll find me.
And if you are joining us, whether it's from YouTube, LinkedIn, Facebook, or any of the other places where you might find us, please let us know that you're here. Say hi. Let us know where you're from. And so, yes, and thank you for the great podcast shout out to MD. Appreciate it. And, you know, Krista's an amazing operations person because if anybody can keep me on a path,
Mm-hmm.
unlike most hurricanes,
Mm-hmm.
uh, Krista can definitely herd me like a wild cat.
Okay, real quick, just a quick tangent. I know this isn't related to the topic today, but I just have to say it is so funny that you say that because every single time I am on a consult with somebody, they're like, well, listen, I really, speaking of a tropical storm band, okay, stuff's just blowing around everywhere. Sorry. Whenever I'm on a consult with someone, I swear every client I had always starts with, listen, I'm really sorry, but I hope you're going to be okay. Like, I'm just like, I can be really scattered and all over the place. And I'm like, you're my people. Like, you're good. I'm used to herding cats. Basically, I'm used
Yep.
to herding goats. Shout out Tropic Country Acre. So like, you're plenty fine. I'm sure I can handle it, and of course, it all goes fine.
Which we do have an update about Tropical Country Acre. Would
Yes,
you like to announce that? Because I'm super excited for you.
I'm super excited too. Thanks to the Instagram algorithm, which you can tune into yesterday's Shockingly Delightful to hear all about that. Our Tropic Country Acre page has been hanging out around 1290 to 1300, and we have for the last like month have not been able to cross over that 1300 follower mark, and we just did today. Whoop, whoop. So, quick shout out. Let me throw it on the screen. If you're on Facebook or Instagram, you can go ahead and follow Tropic Country Acre to see goats, chickens, dogs, cats, birds, reptiles, all sorts
Sourdough
of
recipes.
sourdough, gardening, Florida, flora, as I'm saying.
I
So,
like that. I like that.
Mhm.
Well, okay. So
Yes.
today's topic, and maybe we should take our deep breaths now.
Let's introduce the topic and then do deep breaths since we've been kind of
Okay.
bouncing around that for the last 7 minutes, 5 minutes.
Okay. The topic today is I brought you into this world and I can take you out. And I don't know about anyone watching. I never personally ever had to say that to my kids,
Mm.
but was it said to me? Probably at some
Guaranteed.
point.
Yeah.
Something similar to that was said to me at some point by somebody in my family. And what we were talking about with this topic is more universal. So, we co-conspired uh, to be here in this time, in this world, at this point of creation and craziness. And while the universe brought us here, the universe can certainly take us out. And doesn't necessarily mean death. I don't want anyone to think we're going into that category today. But it can mean that it can put us in different places. It can change our trajectory based on our energy, our vibration, what we're putting out in the world, and what we're receiving. So that's a bit about our conversation today and how we're going to talk about how we can actually participate and engage more and be more of the co-conspirator with the universe on how we can make everything we want happen.
I'm chuckling because there's this great clip of Vince Vaughn that's going around. I don't know what movie it is. It must have been early in his career where he's going, start participating, star.
Yeah.
Hilarious.
Yeah, get up off your ass and start participating in your own life. Sorry.
And on that note, let's take
Sorry,
a
not
deep breath.
sorry. Okay, so we're going to take in some deep breaths, and what I want us to do is when we bring in our breath, I want us to bring into us what we actually want to be focusing on, what we want to happen. Here's the rules. There cannot be any cannots,
Mhm.
don'ts, I don't want to, I should, none of that. It's all about what do you want. All
Mhm.
right, so that's what we're going to be
Yep.
practicing today. So, all right, ready? Big, deep breath in. Bring in all that prana, and then slowly exhale. And then bring in what you want to focus on. And slowly exhale. Let's try and slow it down even more. Wiggle that out. Put your shoulders down. Okay, deep breath in. Slow. That made me think of slow motion for ya. Slow motion for ya.
I think it's slow motion for me, but close enough.
Listen, you do the movie quotes. I come up with the songs that play in my head. It's all good.
Mhm.
So, um, I want to talk about uh, being a child for a moment because you know that whole thought of I brought you into this world. I can take you out.
Mhm.
Um, there there was an experience in my life that could have gone really bad. And Krista's looking at me like, where is she going with this? This
Yes,
is
I
it.
am actually.
So when I was 5, we lived in Newport Richey, which actually, unfortunately, is in the path of the storm at the moment. And we lived on a lake, and we lived on this dirt road. It was really cute, and my dad taught me how to ride my bike. You know where I'm going with this.
Yes, I do.
And my dad taught me how to ride my bike with the training wheels on. And we had a dog. We had an Irish setter. Her name was Piccolo. And Piccolo was inside having puppies. And I wanted to ride my bike. I wanted to ride my bike. I didn't care. I wanted to ride my bike because the puppies were taking a really long time, like my story. And I decided that I was going to go out. The training wheels were off. My dad walked me outside. And he was like, okay, but remember, if there's a car that comes by, you have to get off your bike. You have to stop, get off your bike, and stand on the side of the road while the car passes because there can be confusion of what might happen. So I got on my bike, and I will show you and share with you what my husband surprised me with yesterday. I had my Dressy Bessie doll with me. This is me sharing a little bit of my childhood, okay? So I had my Dressy Bessie with me. She was in my little basket in front of me, and I was singing, and we were riding our little bike together. And a neighbor had a motorcycle, and he was coming down the street. Well, my dad specifically said, if a car is passing, get off your bike, pull over, stop. It was a motorcycle.
I knew it.
So I kept riding. Well, guess what happened? The motorcycle turned around and did a circle and started coming down the road the other way. Me, unaware, because again, I'm busy, la 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 la, singing, going over the little bumps and the rocks in the road, and we hit head on. Motorcycle against a bike, a purple bike, a really cute purple bike.
A 5-year-old purple bike.
Yes, a 5-year-old purple bike. And Dressy Bessie went woo through the air, and I went woo through this part of the air. And the story goes, as my parents told me many times, the dog got up from having puppies, left the area, and went to the door and was on, standing, hair, fur all up, knowing that something really bad had happened.
You're going to make me cry with this part.
And came running out and, like, kind of like Lassie. It was a Lassie moment. Let them know that I had been hit and that I was on the side of the road. Granted, I only hurt my knee and my elbow. Dressy Bessie was dirty. My bike was torn apart. The guy got slashed on his arm, but everything was okay. But, I don't know what I was thinking in that moment. The universe could have taken me out. It could have been a car. I could have hit my head the most perfect way on a rock. Why are you laughing at me? This is not funny. This is a serious story.
It's the intensity in which you've told it to then also lump on, who knows what could have happened.
Obviously, it's still a good memory in the sense that I still love Dressy Bessie, and it was a pleasant surprise when my husband sent me this or got this for me and surprised me.
Say, got it for you. He's here with us.
Yeah, he got it for me, and surprised me with it yesterday. But it's those, I could focus on the negative of that story. I could. But instead, I'm choosing to focus on the positive aspects of the story. I wasn't hurt. My dog was super loyal. And Dressy Bessie to this day means everything and so much to me and brings me happiness and tears of joy.
Like, yes. It's bringing me right now.
Well, Kristen's getting over her laughing.
Okay.
So what did you get from that?
I just feel like there's so many other stories.
I wanted to go, listen, laughter and brings us to being relaxed and happy and joyful. And these are all things that we want more of.
Of course, absolutely.
As we're both tearing up.
If someone's not listening, they're gonna think that we're just crying.
No, we're laughing.
Okay, what was your question? I'm so sorry.
What did you get from that story as far as the topic goes today?
Just move on. I'm not gonna be.
Well,
I
y'all
can't get through it.
y'all get to enjoy our fun and our laughter today. No, but seriously. Okay. So, when we focus on whatever we focus on is what we're going to get back. And if we are focused on the negative aspects of what's happening in our life, we are going to get more of the same.
Yes.
And so it is really, really important not only to watch your words, but to watch your energy, watch your moods, watch what you're focusing on. And if you hear yourself using a lot of the words of, no, I can't, that's not possible. I was talking to a client the other day. He was telling me this story about when he went skydiving, and he was saying how it felt absolutely impossible and he laughed his whole way down.
Oh, that's awesome.
Isn't that
That's
awesome?
awesome.
Like, that is amazing. I might be screaming the whole way down, but I'd probably still be happy, but I'd be screaming. But it's all about bringing that joy in, whatever that joy is for you. And for
Yeah.
everyone, it's something different. And and when we're kids and our parents would say something like that, they were obviously focusing on, probably the not so great things we were doing or not doing, that they felt they needed to say that to us. Um, and if you once you change the way that you interact with the world and with your own world, with your own energy, everything else changes. And you'll notice that not only a perspective shift, but you'll notice that things will start happening that you're not expecting.
Well, and I think, the other part of today's topic too, along with that, is not just looking at things differently, but also remembering, the fragility that is life, and the miracle that it is that we not only as humans exist, but that we're living and breathing on a big rock in space, that if it were, just a little bit closer or farther from where it is right now, it wouldn't even be a hospitable place for us to exist. And just how beautiful life can be, how even in the darkest moments, you something totally beautiful and life-changing catches your eye, or the depth of both the positive feelings and the negative feelings. And just, we as humans tend to get very wrapped up in the monotony of every day, and we forget those things.
Yeah.
And sometimes we have experiences that, lock that in for us. Like, I think my cancer journey really, for our family, set a tone very early on that has kept that in the forefront of our mind since that happened, and we're lucky that way. And to what you were talking about, keeping an eye on those positive things and understanding how life fragile is, a combination of those two things, I think is why I was able to survive cancer all those years ago. Because, I always look at the experience of that children have going through cancer versus adults going through cancer. And it's much harder as an adult to stay positive and focus on good things and all that. Kids can do that a lot easier. And I think when we were going through our journey, we've talked about it before, but my dad setting the tone of like, go cry at home, this isn't the place to do it. Bring her toys, bring her laughs, bring her happiness, bring her crafts, things to do. But then also you both going, no, you're not just going to sit here and eat junk food, you're going to eat a meal. You're
Hmm.
gonna, actually be a contributing member of society as as much as you can be at 3 years old.
You're
But
going
the
to set the table.
balance of those two
Right.
things, I think, was the key, and that can be very difficult as you start getting older, and the world takes its toll. It does
Hmm.
become harder.
Yeah.
But if you can continually bring yourself back to those things, I think you can have a much easier road in life.
Yeah, absolutely. And I saw that a lot at the hospital when I worked there, because there were some families that went the complete opposite direction.
Hmm.
You get the cancer diagnosis, and instead of like, I don't want to, it's not being happy, but it's going, okay, we're together, we're going to do this together, this is a battle.
Right.
It's like a Rocky moment, like, okay, we've got this. I watched some family members that would literally curl up in the fetal position, and they weren't the ones sick, and they were scared to death.
Hmm.
And I got it. I totally got it, because
Yeah.
trust me, I wanted to do that so many times,
Right.
and many times did. After you would be asleep and I'd be in the shower, that was my time to let it out, because you have to release it.
Yeah.
You can't just fake that. You can't walk around with it and just swallow it up inside, because what we've learned through the years, you and I both, is that you will create a dis-ease in your body when you
Oh, yeah.
hold in that stuff. And so
Hmm.
that's not what we're saying, is just be like, toxic positivity. That's not what it is.
Right.
It's being able to look at any given day, and instead of going, you know what, this was a really crappy day,
Hmm.
looking at it and going, all right, that moment wasn't my favorite, but all in all, I had a fun day today, or
Hmm.
I had some really good fun moments.
Hmm.
And as we were laughing and having our laughing fit, I'm sure that there were some people that, and love y'all, but maybe stuffy, that may have been like, you know what, I don't have time for this. If you're not going to say something serious, then whatever, I'm going to move on. And that's fine. I'm
Hmm.
cool with that.
Hmm.
But I know that when I watch somebody laughing or people having fun, it fills my heart up.
Absolutely.
And so hopefully we did that for some people today. And those that didn't like it, they can move on too.
Hmm.
And that's fine. Take what resonates, leave the rest.
Yeah.
So important with any message from
Hmm.
anybody that you're watching.
Absolutely. Yeah. And that actually brings up an interesting part of it too. Is the people who take life the most serious
Hmm.
usually have a really hard time.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I'll speak from experience because I lean on the side of taking things too seriously. So I feel, yeah, I could be a lot worse, but I'm not. Um, but I think there's really something to be said about tuning into the silliness of life.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like, actually, it's so funny. My sister-in-law, your daughter-in-law, the other day, I was having a rough day and I was taking something too seriously. And she texted me back and said, Krista, they had breakdancing in the Olympics. It's life really isn't that serious. And I was like, damn, she got me there. You're totally right. They had breakdancing in the Olympics, and that woman should never have been on that stage to begin with. You're right. It really is not that serious.
Yeah. One of my most favorite meditations, and it's really just a talk, is this guy. He's on Insight Timer. I'll give him a shout out, Tiger Singleton. He's amazing. Um, and he just literally talks for 20 minutes about, there's really nothing
Yeah.
going on. Like, look around you.
Hmm.
The trees are treeing, the wind is blowing, the sun is shining. Like, there's nothing really going on.
Hmm.
And so many people will focus on what's going wrong.
Hmm.
Well, this is wrong, or maybe I'm not doing it right, or maybe I could do something more. what if there's nothing wrong?
Yeah.
Because there's nothing really that important going on except the fact that you're not enjoying where you are.
Mm-hmm.
Hence, moment of presence.
Yeah.
Be in the moment. Be silly, for God's sakes. Find a doll from when you were a kid that makes you laugh and smile.
Have a cute coffee mug that says, "Hey, boo."
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And if there are things, and I was talking to another client last night about this, if there are things that are triggering that you are afraid to say or you're afraid to do, whether it's with your family or if it's on live TV, live stream, whatever, the trigger that someone else is having is not your problem.
Mm-hmm.
The only thing, the only thing you're responsible for is yourself
Mm-hmm.
and your mood and
Mm-hmm.
your energy.
Mm-hmm.
And when you keep yourself aligned with the universe isn't going to take you out and put you on the sideline of the game. They're going to put you in as a starter
Mm-hmm.
and say, go run the touchdown.
Mm-hmm.
And so think of that. Be that person. Be the person that brings a little sunshine into the room.
Mm-hmm. And you know what's so funny about this whole concept? And I struggle with this myself because I am very much more of I can be more of an analytical mind,
Mm-hmm.
take things too seriously. Like I said, like that's always type A personality, that kind of thing. But the thing that's so ironic about this whole concept and about law of attraction in general is what stops us from buying into it is a little bit of a need to control, but it's also this fear that like, well, but what if it doesn't work that way for me? Well, but if we look at the people who are truly living lives where they, are relatively detached from needing things to happen a certain way, that don't try to control situations, that truly do live knowing that good things are going to happen to them, they do.
Yeah.
They really genuinely do. Like
Yeah.
the couple of people that I know that really truly live that way. Do things come up in their life? Absolutely. Are there hard times? Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
But they are always taken care of.
Always.
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 Yeah. Yeah. So that's the thing that I find so hilarious about life is the seriousness that you bring to it is the seriousness you're going to get back, just like everything. What you give is what you get.
Mm-hmm.
And there's great graphics online and photos, and I'm going to sneeze, and when I do, bless you to me in advance. I can feel it coming. There's great graphics online that, depending on the lens that you look at, life is either going really well right now,
Mm-hmm.
or life is an absolute shit show.
Right.
Life is getting way worse, or it's getting unveiled.
Mm-hmm.
You can see the sun rising, or you wish the sun was rising faster.
Mm-hmm.
It's
And
literally all about perspective. All of it.
that's it. And that's all it is
Yeah.
perspective. And I was actually thinking about topics that we need to come up with for next month, bless you. And the radical responsibility that is the control that we have,
Mm-hmm.
is being radically responsible for our energy and again what we're putting out there. It doesn't mean that life is going to be wonderful and perfect all the time.
Yeah.
I have right in front of me, all of life comes to me with ease, joy, and glory. That doesn't say that only good stuff comes to me.
Mm-hmm.
That says all of life comes to me
Mm-hmm.
with ease, joy, and glory, because that's how I'm going to greet it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to be afraid of it. Yes, there's moments where we all have fear. Yes, there's moments where we have panic attacks, but that doesn't run my life.
Mm-hmm.
I give myself grace. I'm easy with myself when those kind of things happen. That's the shift, is not judging yourself and being responsible for, okay, I'm having a moment.
Mm-hmm.
I'm having a moment.
Mm-hmm.
And then you get whatever it is that you are asking for. But if you're thinking about all the things that you can't do or that aren't happening, you're going to get exactly that, because the universe doesn't know the difference between good or bad. It just knows what you're putting out. And if that's what you're putting out there, it's going to give you back. It's going to mirror it back to you.
Well, and not only that, but let's look at a practical example. It happens to me all the time, and I'm sure other people can relate to this. Something comes up, let's say at work, and it is driving you crazy. You cannot figure out the solution. You're racking your brain about it. You skip lunch to try to figure it out, and you either the problem keeps getting worse or you're not making any progress. Hey, Rayman, how you doing? And it's just is driving you crazy, and you finally go, you know what? I'm gonna go grab a snack from the break room or my kitchen, wherever you are, and I'll come back and figure it out. And that little bit of a break, you come back, you sit down, you figure it out immediately. Right. Or you're going and grabbing your snack or your drink or whatever, and you go, oh, of course, that's the solution. Right. Life works the same way. If you are just beating the drum on a problem that is not getting fixed, and you cannot figure out the solution, and you are just focusing on it nonstop, why would you figure out the solution in that state? How would your brain magically be able to just switch all of a sudden in that state? It can't. You gotta let go for a second.
Right. Because the solution is sitting right there in front of you. Mm-hmm. But because you're not a match to it energetically or at the same frequency, you can't see it.
Yep.
So if you want to be at the same level of your solution, you have to be resonating with it. Mm-hmm. And this is one of the most challenging I've heard, and it was for me in the beginning, to understand this. Mm-hmm. And I'll take people back to the basics, and I'll go over it really, really quickly. And hi, Raymond, because I didn't say howdy before, and you missed a giggle fest that you definitely need to rewatch the first 10 minutes because you're going to laugh your ass off. But anyway, so you want, let's say, I want to go to Greece. We know I want to go to Greece. Mm-hmm. That's like one of my big, bucket list things that I want to do. I want to go to Greece. Why? Well, it's my family's history. My family's from there. It would be important to me. Okay. Why? Why is it important to me? Okay. And this is how I literally process things for myself. Yes, you have to take a minute, and you can take a minute and you can be and do nothing and quiet your mind like a cloud passing by and just let all the shit show fly by you. Or you can get a little curious and go, okay, what is it about the situation that is triggering me or affecting me? So why do I want to go to Greece? So get down to the nitty gritty. It brings back memories of stories I was told. It was where my family grew up. It's the culture that I was brought up in. What would it mean for me to be there? It would mean success. Like I've accomplished that I got there, because I've seen so many other people get there and I haven't been able to yet because I haven't made certain choices to get myself there. I could have gone when I was in middle school, by the way, and I chose to start middle school on the first day of school because I was afraid I wouldn't make any friends. So I made that choice out of fear and didn't go, and I missed out that opportunity. So fear versus love. Why do I want to go to Greece? It's all out of love. I want to be able to go there and just be in the presence of the memories and the feelings that were always shared with me when my family shared those stories. And so for me, it's like this very deep level of longing to be there. And also it's almost like a calling. I just feel called to go there for some reason. So that's why I want to go to Greece. So, okay, am I going to feel happy about it? Yeah, I'm going to be happy. I'm going to feel successful. I'll feel accomplished. Where else in my life can I feel that way? Well, when I go on any vacation, I feel good. I feel happy about being there. Not necessarily Greece, but I can feel good. I can feel free. I can feel like I'm with my family and it's out of love. And so when you can't have the specific thing that you're focusing on,
Mm-hmm.
you focus on the feeling that that will bring you and feel the feels until you make the whatever it is a reality.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the trick to
Yeah.
law of attraction.
Yeah.
That was a lot.
That was a lot, and I'm not gonna lie to you. I missed the intro to it, so I was listening to you going, okay, wait, how is she tying this back to the topic? So I'm glad you did. um, yeah, and I think there's still a lot to be explored as far as frequencies goes and being a match to frequencies. I can't recall what book it was that I read recently. Um, but it was talking about, actually, no, you know what? I think it was a podcast that I was watching, and it was talking about, when you say, it's very common, like, joke among, like, husband and wife, babe, where's the ketchup? And the husband's like, I can't find it, where's the ketchup? And then or God, I said ketchup instead of ketchup. And then the wife is like, honey, it is in the door of the fridge, I don't see it. And then the wife comes over and it's right there in front of all the condiments in the
Yeah.
drawer, or in the door. And it was saying, the reason that the person can't see it is because it's literally not a match to their frequency.
Right.
And so there's some really interesting concepts related to that. And literally something as simple as, where's the ketchup? Where's the salt? Where's the
Mm-hmm.
pickle jar? Like, even small things like that. There's, in the spiritual paranormal world, there's a thing that you do when you lose something, and you ask Faye to bring it back to you, which
Mm-hmm.
Faye is, uh, what's a short and sweet way to describe the Fae?
Fairies.
Well, I know, but I didn't know if there was a better way to say it. Okay, anyway,
Elemental magic.
there you go. And you ask them, hey, this is what I've lost. This is why it would be really great if I had it back. Could
Mm-hmm.
you help me? And then maybe that thing that you lost, whether it's a key, it's a, a
Mm-hmm.
crystal, anything, piece of
An
jewelry,
earring.
whatever it is, an earring, all of a sudden it appears somewhere.
Yeah.
And you go, I didn't even have it in this area.
Right.
But it came back, frequency wise.
Yeah. And
It's
was it
now
there?
back on your plane.
Right. And was it there the whole time, but you just weren't on the same frequency with it, and so you couldn't see it? And so whether you're asking God for it, universe for it, the Fae for it, I don't care who you ask for it. The point is that you ask and it's given.
Mm-hmm.
That's an actual book that you can read by, Abraham Hicks.
Yeah.
But it's so simple, and people make it so complicated.
And that's
And,
human nature.
well, yeah, and we do it all the time. How
Mm-hmm.
many times have you said, I want a car and I'm going to get that car and it's going to be yellow? And I wanted a yellow Xterra when the Xterras first came out. Those were those cars that the back seat was a little bit raised up higher. It was like an SUV, and the back seat was raised up higher so that way like the kids could see out. And so I just thought it was the coolest looking thing ever. And I wanted an Xterra, and they had them in this bright yellow, kind of like the yellow on my Dragonfly. And
Oh yeah,
so
there it is.
once I picked out that yellow Xterra, I saw them everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone had
Mm-hmm.
a yellow Xterra. And guess what? I didn't want it anymore. But the point is that I was so focused
Mm-hmm.
on the yellow, I didn't see red cars. Like, do an experiment right now. Everybody that's watching us, and you're watching us in the future, cool. Uh, look around you at everything that's red. Look around the room, the office, wherever you are, and look at every single thing that's red. Find all the red things. Okay? Come back. What did you see that was blue? Because you were so focused on the red, you didn't see the blue,
Mm-hmm.
even though you're actually in a room that is blue. But when we focus on it, that's what we see. And so it's that simple. It's literally that simple. You want to see dragonflies? Put it in your head. I'm going to walk outside. I am going to see dragonflies. But here is another tip. Do not stress yourself when you open up the door and a dragonfly doesn't land on you. Don't start tapping your foot going, okay, universe, okay, God, okay, world, where's the dragonfly? Well, now you're just being judgy and rude. I mean, it's the truth. You're being judgy and rude. You ask for something, detach from it, detach from the outcome, and just let the universe delight and surprise you. Let God delight and surprise you. Let it go. You already put it out on. I used to tell you this all the time. Put it on your Santa list. See what happens. But if you came up
Oh God, you just triggered a childhood memory.
but don't sit there and tell me and ask me every single
You
day.
know,
Go
this
ahead.
makes a lot of sense because this is the part of law of attraction that I have beef with, as the kids say. I am not good at this part, and now that you brought up Santa, I see why. Because you would say that to me every Christmas. You go, put it on the list and we'll see. And I'd be like, can you, like, but is it, like, should I pick something else? Or, like, is that okay? Like, I don't, is that,
Put it on the list.
and it, it's a lot easier to do that when it's something small and
Mm-hmm.
something silly, like, you know, I'm going to find parking right where I get where I'm going. Or, oh, I hope this song comes next on the radio. Or, you know, I was driving home from the store the other morning and I was like, the rain's going to let up right as I get home with the groceries. And it did. Like those things, it can be a lot easier to really experience law of attraction because of our human nature. The more important something is, the more challenging it can be for us to let go enough to allow those things to come in. You can stop smirking because I know I'm preaching to the choir, which is myself. And the other thing with this too, I want to touch on because I think it's important and I think it's something that would be helpful for a lot of people, especially right now, is this same concept of focus also comes in play in the sense of when you have, let's say you have a goal. Um, let's say I have a goal that I want to get, 5 more clients in the next month.
Mm-hmm.
If I'm only focused on those, how do I get those 5 clients? I can't see the small little steps I need to get me there. Because
Right.
I'm so focused on I need those 5 clients,
Mm-hmm.
I can't see that the next step is go on LinkedIn and post about this.
Mm-hmm.
Connect with these people. Write a article or something.
Yep.
There's all these little steps in between. Or I really really want a relationship. You should probably get out of the house or get on a dating site or something to have that happen. And so
Right.
so often we can focus on these things that we want that we miss the steps that are just small little steps to get there.
Well, and
And
some
that
people.
can feel very overwhelming.
Right. Well, and because some people think that the law of attraction means I can just ask and it's given and I don't have to do anything. So I can just sit on the couch and wait and just like show it to me.
Mm-hmm.
But where is it? And not do anything. But you have to take inspired action in order for it to happen.
Mm-hmm.
So, if you want mo money, show me the money. You've got to take some inspired action to figure out what is that. Do you just want money from anywhere? I mean, my mantra is I want increasing income from multiple sources on a continuous basis. I don't care where it comes from. I really don't. I don't care how it comes. I don't where it comes from. I just don't want to have to even look at my bank account. That is my only thing that about money that I ever put out there is I just don't want to even have to worry about payday. I just want it there.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to think about it.
Mm-hmm.
Just don't. And thankfully, I took some major inspired action, and now it's happened. But I had to release how I thought it was going to happen. And
Mm-hmm.
that was the key because I thought it was going to come from one place. And instead, it's literally coming from multiple sources.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm having so much fun. So much fun. I'm doing all these different things. I'm loving it. It's perfect for my crazy mind that's all over the place. It's perfect for me. Perfect. But that is one of the key challenges that people have with law of attraction is
Mm-hmm.
that they feel they can just put it out there and then they can sit back and they can just it should just happen. You still have to do things. You're not being lazy. You have to be inspired and you still have to take small actions and listen for those intuitive hits from the universe because they're going to leave. The universe is leaving breadcrumbs for you.
Mm-hmm.
You just got to see them.
Well, in the silly, like quote unquote, silly example of, you're driving in the car and you really wish that a certain song would come on. Maybe the next song that comes on isn't the one you were thinking of, but you feel this like urge to change to hit next. And next comes on the song that you were listening to
Right.
or you wanted to hear.
Right.
That's a nudge. Or maybe you are looking for a relationship and you get this nudge to, you know what, instead of going to the grocery store on this day at this time, I feel like going at this day on this time for some reason. That's weird. You go, you meet someone in the bread aisle, boom bang bong, there you go.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it really can be that simple.
Yeah.
You're looking for a new job and you happen to bump into someone walking into a coffee shop and you exchange card information and they happen to have a job that's perfect for you.
Absolutely.
And then the beautiful thing about this is it connects directly even more to the topic of today, which is the best way for those things to happen, like you mentioned, is to focus on other things that bring you that same energy, or just focusing on other positive things like the beauty outside your window,
Mm-hmm.
or just being grateful. You're driving to work and you're just so grateful that your car is running great, that it feels great on the road, your
Yeah.
windshield wipers are clearing the rain out, you can see everything in front of you, your headlights are super strong, you can see everything you need at night when you're driving. It's the simple things that you can focus on
Mm-hmm.
that bring you into that energy.
Yeah. Absolutely. Um, you know, Raymond brings up, I'm good without a relationship right now. I would get curious and say, why? Because, and I'm speaking as you. If it were me, I would be saying, I'm good without a relationship right now. Okay, why? Because I'm giving myself time to get to know who I am now. And that's how you would turn that into a very positive law of attraction type of sentence
Mm-hmm.
or statement
Mm-hmm.
is I love spending time with myself. I'm learning so much about who I am.
Mm-hmm.
And that's amazing. And sometimes we all need that. Sometimes, yes, sometimes we all need that space, yet we get so caught up in the minutia of what we're supposed to have and what we're supposed to want and what we're
Mm-hmm.
supposed to do that we forget about what's really important to us.
Mm-hmm.
And honestly, what's the most important to all of us, or it should be, and I said the word should, sorry, is the relationship we have with ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
And that's it.
Mm-hmm.
And however you are and taking that time to build that relationship with yourself. I was talking to a client and they were saying that they they felt a little like, well, I'm starting to really enjoy this time with myself. Like, what if I get stuck here? What if I like don't mind this isolation? And I was like, who are you really? And you know that that's not going to happen because you're not going to allow it to happen. All you are doing is enhancing who you are now. You're
Mm-hmm.
enhancing your own strength. You're getting to know what's triggering you. You're learning about all of these things. So when you do go back into the craziness of the world, you're going to be stronger for it.
Mm-hmm.
And you're going to be that example that you want to be for so many. But it's taking that time, and we don't always do that
Mm-hmm.
because we don't know that we can.
It's yeah, yeah.
I'm just taking a deep breath.
I don't really have anything to add to that because I felt like that was just such a perfect ending for the episode.
Yeah, you know, me and Dressy Bessie, thank you for joining us. No, so seriously, if you need help, it's a long story, Raymond. I'll explain later.
Just watch the beginning of the episode.
Yeah, just watch the beginning. I'll bring her to class. But the deal is that if you want to learn more about how to control the things that you can control and get rid of the triggers that are holding you back from the life you want, then book a call. Book a call compatibility a compatibility call
There it is.
and just have a conversation. If I can help you, I'm going to help you. If I can't, I'm going to direct you where you need to be. Tonight is Odonata. We start at 7 o'clock. It is a coaching community, it's group coaching. You show up, you get coached. We talk about some things that you might need to get off your chest, and we kind of go through that. It's very relaxed coaching, but yet it is a great way to get used to coaching
Mm-hmm.
if you've never had coaching. And it's subscription based, so it's low cost for everybody. I wanted to make it available for as many people as possible because that's important to me, is to give back. So I've been caught up in life that wasn't mine or me, so time is yes, absolutely, Raymond. It's so important. And you know what? We shift and we change. And so the time and the space that we need to take sometimes is going to be a little in our 20s, a little in our 30s, a lot in our 40s, and maybe some more in our 50s. Who knows? But it's all going to be different because we're changing.
Mm-hmm.
We're changing. We're becoming different people as we continue to grow and feel enlightened. So if you need help, if you want some guidance, if you want some help looking for those breadcrumbs, I'm here to help you. And I just thank you so much for being here. Krista, where can people find you?
You can find me at wickedwisdomconsulting.com. Also, if you just look up Wicked Wisdom Consulting on Facebook and LinkedIn, I've got some really great content coming out in the next couple weeks, so check out that. And also follow Tropic Country Acre on Instagram and or Facebook. I've got some really funny stuff that I'm putting together with the goats and the chickens and the dogs and the cats and all of that. So check that out as well. And otherwise, you can catch me on Shockingly Delightful, our show on Wednesdays, which is a little bit surprisingly, despite the beginning first 10 minutes of this episode, Shockingly Delightful is the one that's a little bit more fun. And Moment of Presence is supposed to be a little bit more serious, but what is seriousness without fun? You can't have one without the other. So
No, and we all deserve to have some fun anyway. So, and remember, every day you can choose to have a good day or a bad day. It is all up to you and your perspective. So choose wisely, and we will see you next week. See ya.